It's a very good morning to you. You're still on to Mega 89.1 FM or in the Sound of Delta. It's still Tuesday, the 23rd day, the month of July 2024. The time check right now is 48 minutes gone past 8 a.m. this morning. About time for us to take you through some of the newspaper headlines this morning. My name is Christopher Ohajuru. Of course, joining me as always.
Kotie Austin Favor, good morning.
All right, as usual, we'll see what some of the papers they talk about this morning. I just hope something nice will definitely be for the paper this morning. I mean, you expect anything good? I mean, as usual.
I think this morning something good, yeah.
Oh, you don't see something good? I never see. I just ask you.
Something good. I mean, from the last time when we saw the bag of rice.
Bag of rice. You don't receive the rice now.
We don't see bags of beans, no beans distributed, you know.
It's all right. We'll see what that beans will do this time around. But we still wait for Delta State. We never see the bag of rice. Rice never reach my house. I don't know about you, the least whether I don't receive the rice. But let's start off with the Punch newspaper right here. The major headline from the Punch says a fuel crisis. Marketers project 700 billion naira monthly subsidy. Fuel crisis. Marketers project 700 billion naira monthly subsidy. The sub-writer here says NNPC mom as dealers insist government still paying subsidy. Reps probe crude shortage. And also Dangote eyes foreign marketers for refinery products. Federal government meets Kyari Dangote over disputes. Federal government right now meets Kyari Dangote over dispute. This is on the front page of the Punch newspaper. Also right here the story we see windfall tax. Federal government insists on sanctions for defaulted bank chiefs. Federal government insists on sanctions for defaulted bank chiefs. The sub-writer says proposes 10% penalty on withheld levy. That's on page 25 of the Punch newspaper. Also, organized private sector opposes fresh interest rate hike. Also on page 25 of the Punch newspaper right here. And also Nigeria records $1 billion international transfer inflows in 3 months. Nigeria records $1 billion international transfer inflows in 3 months. That's on page 23. And then on page 16 of the Punch newspaper, hunger protests. NLC warns against clampdown. Hunger protests. NLC warns against clampdown on page 16 of the Punch newspaper right there. And also immigration officer, 3 others arraigned for drug trafficking. Not today. That's on page 6 of the Punch newspaper.
Okay, moving over to the Matrix newspaper, where the major headline here says, monopoly substandard petroleum products claim National Assembly talks stuff. Monopoly substandard petroleum products claim National Assembly talks stuff. The top writer here says, Senate says sabotage in petroleum industry matter of national security is capable of crippling Nigeria's economy for generations to come. Page 2 of the Matrix will let you in on the story right there. Meanwhile, the police nab Kuje prison escapee fingered in General Udokwere murder. Page 27 will let you in on the full story. A Rivers crisis, another court gives Fubara go-ahead to spend public funds. Another court gives Fubara a go-ahead to spend the public funds. Page 4 will let you in on the full story. Obi calls for urgent action to prevent further economic collapse. Obi calls for urgent action to prevent further economic collapse. Page 27 will let you in on the full story. Nigerian crude oil price tops budget benchmark by $7.72 in first quarter 2024. Page 4 will let you in on the story right there. This says hashtag end bad governance protest. NLC Ndume caution. Tinubu, page 31 will let you in on the full story. Bagudu budget minister urges Nigerians to make sacrifices for country's growth. Budget minister urges Nigerians to make sacrifices for country's growth. Page 41 will let you in on the full story. Last one coming from the Matrix says CPPE pleads with central bank to halt interest rate hike as MPC meeting ends today. Page 4 will let you in on the full story on the Matrix newspaper.
Let's go over to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The major headline right here says bill to establish local government electoral commission. A bill to establish local government electoral commission. Don't undermine federalism. Political parties, others warn. Don't undermine federalism. Political parties and others warn. That's on page 15 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Also, federal government moves to resolve crude supply dispute with Dangote refinery. Federal government moves to resolve crude supply dispute with Dangote refinery. You can find that on the page 8 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Also, right there, the story says planned national protests. It is ill-timed. Planned national protests. It is ill-timed. Subbrother says address citizens' grievances. Coming from NLC, Christian Elders Forum warns Tinubu, and also police beg Abuja residents not to join protests. On page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. Also, we have Obi laments dwindling economy, wants political leaders to take action on page 16 of the Nigerian Tribune. And also, Tantita Security Chairman congratulates new head of service, says Tinubu has continued to honor South on page 3. And finally, from the Nigerian Tribune, the court dismisses Abacha family's 500 million naira suit against IG over Abuja property, on page 17 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. And also, MPA rakes in 541 billion revenue, remits 255 billion naira in first half of 2024. Coming from Coco, the outgoing MD, hands over new staff clinic, 5 other completed projects to successor. You can find the details of that story on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper.
Okay, moving over to the Leadership newspaper, where the major headline here says federal government palliatives. 1 week after 21 states await truckloads of grains.
Take that headline again.
Okay, federal government palliatives. 1 week after 21 states await truckloads of
I tell you,
grains.
say the rights never reach some state. You say that you never reach Delta State to.
Okay, the subreddit here says Anambra, Akwa Ibom, Bayelsa, Kwara, Rivers take delivery. Labour asks Tinubu to dialogue with protest leaders. Page 4 will let you in on the full story. In case you want to know the states that it's yet to get to. Page 4 will let you in on the full story. And this says a collapse. Another 12 schools at risk in Jos. This is coming from the governor right there. Tom Polo Loud was in Jack's appointment as head of service. Page 7 will let you in on the full story. Christian elders write Tinubu, NAS seek new constitution. Page 6 will let you in on the full story right there. This one says writing for media and monetizing it for reading on Wednesday. Page 6 will let you in on the full story. Chibok girls with pregnancy, 2 children rescued. Chibok girls with pregnancy, 2 children rescued. Page 7 will let you in on the full story right there. This says a lottery not within exclusive legislative list. Supreme Court affirms. Page 7 will let you in on the full story on the Leadership newspaper.
Let's take it through the Guardian newspaper this morning. The front page of the Guardian, the story right here, the major headline right here says over 30,000 jobs lost. Over 30,000 jobs lost to closure of manufacturing firms in 4 years. That's on page 6 of the Guardian. Over 30,000 jobs lost to closure of manufacturing firms in 4 years. And also we see right here planned protests. NLC, NANS, others insist government must address hunger and hardship. Planned protests, NLC, NANS, others insist government must address hunger and hardship. And also federal government, Dangote, NNPC to explore solutions to refinery crude crisis. They really need to resolve this issue because it's been lingering for quite some time right now. So we believe that they'll definitely come to a conclusion on that matter. And also GDP ranking, it's been 9 years of retrogression. Obi laments. That story is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper right there.
Okay, moving over to the Daily Times newspaper. The major headline here says NLC to Tinubu address public grievances amid looming national protest. The songwriter here says urges president to invite protest organizers for a dialogue. Page 2 will let you in on the full story right there. This says reps to sanction agencies COIS over alleged $60 billion inflated cash calls. Page 4 will let you in on the full story on the Daily Times. This says low investment, major challenge in upstream oil and gas. This is coming from the CEO of NUPRC. Page 6 will let you in on the full story. And this says consumers shun bread, pastries as prices continue to soar. Consumers shun bread, pastries as prices continue to soar. Page 3 and 5 will let you in on the full story. Again, court dismisses Abacha family's $500 million suit against federal government over Abuja property. Page 20 will let you in on the full story. The last one coming from the Daily Times says federal government assures of proper utilization of 6.2 trillion naira additional budget expenditure.
And finally, from my end, I take you through the Daily Sun newspaper, where some of the headlines right here says security forces warn sit-at-home promoters. Security forces warn sit-at-home promoters. That's on page 29 of the Daily Sun. And also, there's a story that has been trending on most of the papers this morning. That's a message, a congratulatory message coming from High Chief of Government, Owezide Ekwemupolo, congratulating and thanking the President, Bola Tinubu, for bringing in the appointment of our dear daughter, according to the message right here. You remember that the President just appointed Didi Esther Walsin-Jack as the new head of the Civil Service of the Federation, and a lot of congratulatory messages, and also thank you messages going to the President from some prominent personalities in Delta State, thanking President Bola Tinubu for that appointment. So that's it. And also, APC calls for Obaseki's impeachment over Nigeria will burn comment. The comment coming from Obaseki right now. APC is now calling for Obaseki's impeachment over the comments. Nigeria will burn. That's what he said. And that's on page 28 of the Daily Sun newspaper. All right, that will be all on the newspaper review segment this morning on the Mega Palava Town Hall.